Thank you so much. Jill.
Hi. So my poem is called Cora's Man, a slightly different version than, it's gone through a couple of versions, but since I've been studying linguistics, I'm trying to take out some of the vernacular, so it's more authentic. Cora's Man. Cora carried 2 cans of Diet Mountain Dew past me as I flipped through a 3-year-old Consumer Reports magazine. I was reading about the safety of car seats. I don't drink diet anything. Look at me. Her cheeks were large earlobes, gray stubble on her chin. In a tiny room, she was ironing shirts for men who would be back at 5 to pick them up. I don't drink Diet Mountain Dew. The seniors at the center around the corner bring them to me. You know the place. The cans were in a Ziploc, hanging like dirty laundry from her fingertips, tight on the corner of plastic. Between us, she says, I'm taking them out to my car to bring them home. Someone else can drink them there. Her tongue could have been from anywhere south of Fairfax. Her eyes, large, I could see that few events escaped them. I had a question for her. She came back to the little room, the dryers making low booms with every rotation, the washers gushing rivers. I asked her how long she thought it would take to dry a comforter. She shook her head, depends on the dryer. She pressed her hand on one glass door after another. This one's the hottest, she said. I clinked in my quarters, gambling on the heat. It wasn't real silence like movies without sound. Behind the machine's tumbles, the television murmured accusations, and then a man came in to the balmy heat. Cora handed him trousers on hangers, shirts buttoned 3 times, once at the collar. You're early, she says. He took his shirts in piles, gave Cora some 20s. Shit, Cora, how'd you get so beautiful? She blushed. He's such a liar. The back of him disappeared behind the smudged glass door. She says to me, see, don't need diet anything.
Thank you so much. I think that that's a great poem, both because we're really going to get a lot of diversity today. Most people did, in fact, write or share poems about workers, and this is a very different kind of worker. But I love, again, the touches of humor in here. So thank you so much, Jill, for sharing that. Eric. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I want to thank everybody for putting together the effort to put this on. I appreciate being included. Thank you so much. Several years ago, I picked up the newspaper up in Portland, Maine, and at the very bottom of the front page, the title of an article was "Lobstering at 96." I was so entranced just with the idea, I never bothered to read the article, but I just took that title and I started to write a supposition of what this person's life was like. In the first line, there's a reference to greasy swells. So there's a condition of the ocean when there's no wind and the water is very glassy, but there are deep swells coming from further out to sea that causes that glassy water to just rise and fall. And sailors say it has the appearance of grease. So they're called greasy swells. Lobstering at 96. The greasy swells are out today. Tides tie my schedule, half adrift upon her death last year. My skin sprouts barnacles and mats of kelp, so thin it tears against a tightened line. Bruises spread like algae blooms in blue. Whips of salt spume toughen even skinny boys. She married to unpeel me, the man. Today, I combed her plot with care. What with the cemetery poorly kept, my friends might well be buried in a vacant lot. My neighbors are their sprat. They strut like gulls, innocent of history, not the blizzard of 50, when every boat and car was clamped in ice 3 weeks, the sea a sullen gray, and half the fishing shacks were pickup sticks. The warmer weather is a weakling nowadays. Between sinews and my knobby joints, these limbs resemble knotted rope. Still, I had to haul the pots. The sea and she are all I care to know. I learned eddies from flow, surface from undertow. My jury is the clouds, the sun, the wind. Lobsters molt. July's their naked month, but I'll not be reborn. With her, one long visit to the county fair was plentiful, and she won't meet me at the gate again. I'll be grateful when I shed my shell this once. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Eric. I have to say that when I read this poem, I thought you were going to be our oldest poet today. So, um, and the ending, very powerful ending. I read that line